Good evening, you're watching AWANI Tonight with me, Farhana Sheikh. The government has ruled out the return of any lockdowns amid a 62% rise in the number of COVID-19 cases last week. Health Minister Datuk Sri Zulkifli Ahmad says his ministry will reinstate the test, report, isolate, inform and seek or TRIS framework to curb further outbreaks.
Malaysia kini sedang menghadapi peningkatan kes COVID-19 yang mendadak. Itu kita akui. KKM berharap agar situasi ini dapat dilalui tanpa perlu mengulangi, saya sebutkan, tanpa perlu mengulangi sekatan seperti Perintah Kawalan Pergerakan PKP yang berlaku pada awal pandemik COVID-19 yang lalu. So kita tak bercakap tentang PKP, we rule for the time being kita tidak bercakap tentang mengulangi PKP sebab ada yang bertanya.
Dr. Zulkifli said there were no plans to reintroduce the scanning of MySejahtera QR codes when entering premises. However, the public is advised to wear masks in crowded areas, conduct regular testing and maintain high levels of hygiene. He also assured that the capacity of government health facilities was under control and ready to handle an increase in patient admissions. The Health Ministry reported 20,696 COVID-19 cases between 10th and 16th December. Of the total, 151 cases were referred to intensive care and 28 deaths were recorded during this period. Majority of the deaths were those aged 60 and above and people with comorbidities.
Meanwhile, Health Director General Datuk Dr. Muhammad Razi Abu Hassan has assured the public that the country's COVID-19 vaccine supply is still sufficient despite the recent spike in cases. Those who wish to take booster shots can book an appointment on the MySejahtera app or just walk in at some health facilities.
Stok vaksin kita mencukupi. Kalau katakanlah untuk penggalak dan juga untuk sesiapa lagi yang hendak mengambil vaksin, kita ada stoknya vaksin buat masa sekarang ni. Enough untuk terutama sekali untuk bagi mereka yang mempunyai risiko ataupun yang comorbidities. Kita ada cukup insya-Allah untuk buat masa sekarang ni.
He said the current bivalent vaccines that Malaysia has, which can target 2 different virus strains simultaneously, are also still effective in combating the virus. But the ministry currently is in the process of getting monovalent vaccines that can target a specific virus strain from pharmaceutical firm Pfizer. His ministry is expecting the number of COVID-19 cases in Malaysia to continue rising following the global trend, but expects the surge to die down in the next 4 to 6 weeks.
The supply shortage of local white rice in Malaysia is easing, according to Agriculture and Food Security Minister Datuk Sri Mohamed Sabu. He says this is due to the year-end rice harvest by the Muda Agricultural Development Authority or MADA.
However, Mohamed said the local rice supply had not fully stabilized as consumer demand remained high. He said the country's self-sufficiency rate currently stood at 65%. Mohamed added that MADA was in the process of replanting paddy for next year's supply. He also encouraged the public to get involved in food security efforts by using open spaces near their homes to create community gardens.
A 2020 directive from the Islamic Development Department or JAKIM, which banned the display of products with non-Islamic festive greetings, is no longer applicable. The department said halal certified businesses will not be prevented from writing festive greetings on cakes and other items.
JAKIM said it will continue to review and re-evaluate the Malaysian Halal Certificate Procedure Manual. Over the weekend, Minister in the Prime Minister's Department of Religious Affairs, Datuk Dr. Muhammad Naim Mokhtar, said halal certified establishments would not be restricted from writing festive greetings on cakes. This followed an internal memo from a local bakery that allegedly prevented staff from writing Merry Christmas on their cakes, even at the request of customers. The memo stated that this was in order to comply with the halal certification requirements of JAKIM.
Meanwhile, the Youth and Sports Ministry has completed its post-mortem of the poor condition of the field at the National Stadium in Bukit Jalil for the Malaysia Cup final on December 8th. Its Minister, Hannah Yeoh, says the Malaysian Stadium Board, PSM, had also completed its investigation into the matter to avoid a recurrence.
According to Yo, the post-mortem at the KBS level was completed last week as promised. She added that the report had to be presented to the PSM board first. She explained that the board had scheduled a meeting early next month to make a decision and steps are being taken for improvement. She also said that the report would not be made public as it involved an internal inquiry conducted by the ministry and PSM. The issue of the field at the National Stadium in Bukit Jalil became a hot topic among local football fans after it was said to have been damaged after the Coldplay concert at the venue on November 22nd.
I can complain about when my players see one.
We'll go for a quick break. Don't go anywhere.
Siapakah Gempak Most Wanted 2023? Anda yang akan menentukannya.
Layari www.gempakmostwantedawards.com sekarang untuk mengundi.
Gempak Most Wanted Awards terpaling trending.
Hai adik-adik, jom belajar cara melintas jalan. Lihat kiri, kanan, kiri sebelum melintas. Membantu pelajar melintas dan pastikan pelajar selamat sampai. Jangan tiru pemanduan seperti ini. Contohi pemanduan dan peraturan dengan berhemah.
Welcome back. The Digital Ministry, helmed by Damansara MP Gobind Singh Deo, was established in the recent cabinet reshuffle to drive the country's digital transformation. PIKOM CEO Ong Chin Song shares his expectations for the new ministry and their immediate priorities.
PIKOM welcomed YB Gobind as a digital minister for the country. In fact, PIKOM had put up this expectation to the government to have a digital minister 12 years ago under our earlier leadership. Why? Because PIKOM saw the next coming is digital era after the industrialization. For the country to move forward, for the huge growth, the country shall have a ministry to focus on digital to ensure the country getting the advantage of these digital opportunities.
Chin Song also outlined key policies the ministry should focus on.
The digital ministry needs to implement policies. Number one, the policies that benefit the country GDP and riots Malaysia in long term. You will see results in 5 to 10 years time for the country to become number one or number two in ASEAN in digital adoption. The policy, number two, the policy that are able to encourage a greater adoption of digitalization and technology, enlarging the local market for ICT digital export. This includes initiatives to address skills gaps, promote digital literacy, and build a supportive ecosystem for innovation. Number three, improve digitalization for SMEs and rural communities and urban poor. The ministry should prioritize programs that support digital adoption by SMEs to uplift the urban and rural communities through digital inclusion. And number four, exploring new markets. We encourage the ministries to actively explore potential new markets for Malaysian technology products and services. This includes leveraging existing trade agreements and exploring emerging markets with high growth potential.
Despite the Digital and Communication Ministry being split to focus on specific aspects of both pillars, Chen Song stresses the importance of both ministries to coordinate matters together. Collaboration is vital, he said, especially in dealing with cybersecurity and 5G adoption.
Collaboration between the two ministries will be crucial, in fact, for both to achieve the comprehensive digitalization. Critical sectors that require both ministry attention also would be the cybersecurity and the rollout of 5G nationwide. And we understand, in fact, cybersecurity may not under both of the ministries. And this is a digital threat and defense for the country and the public. And is an important area to look at it as well. In fact, PIKOM hopes to see both communication and the digital ministries need immediate focus on close coordination across the ministries to enable Malaysia to have effectively using digitalization as a competitive edge to advance right Madani economy. We can accelerate our progress of digital economy towards a 25.5% contribution to GDP from digital sectors by 2025 and ensure Malaysia achieve high-income nation by 2030 and ensure no riots is left behind.
On to the international front. Flash floods caused by Cyclone Jasper in North Queensland, Australia, have forced residents to flee their homes. The city of Cairns, the gateway town to the Great Barrier Reef and home to over 150,000 people, received around 600 millimeter of rain in 40 hours, more than 3 times the December average of 182 millimeter.
Hundreds of people were rescued as power and roads were cut and safe drinking water dwindled. Many had also taken to rooftops to escape fast-rising rivers. The state's Premier, Stephen Miles, described the natural disaster as the worst he could remember, while state officials estimate the cost of the disaster to top $1 billion Australian dollars. In the town of Ingham, conservation officers also captured a 2.8-meter-long crocodile in a storm drain by a gas station. It has been taken to a holding facility until the floodwaters recede. Heavy rain is forecast to continue for another 24 hours, with several rivers expected to break records previously set in a 1977 flood.
Meanwhile, in China, a cold front has brought rare snowfall to the south of the country, while temperatures in the north have plunged to near historic lows. In the capital Beijing, morning temperatures dropped to minus 15.5 degrees Celsius as road, rail and air travel was disrupted.
In early November, forecasters predicted a warmer winter this year due to the El Niño phenomenon. Guangzhou was forecast to see a low of 8 degrees Celsius compared with the double-digit temperatures typical of the province in early winter. Officials have also urged people to take precautions, especially the elderly and the young, who may be susceptible to illnesses from the cold wave. The national forecaster has warned that low temperatures would prevail until Thursday. Meanwhile, in South Korea, residents expressed concern after temperatures in Seoul took an unexpected dip. The city recorded a low of minus 12.2 degrees Celsius on Monday and was forecast to drop to minus 7 degrees Celsius on Tuesday. In contrast, the temperature reached 16.8 degrees Celsius on December 8th, the second highest recorded in December since 1968.
That wraps up AWANI Tonight. I'm Farhana Sheikh. Thank you for watching.